In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a money management algorithm with NightTrader. I have some questions about that. So I'm going to go ahead and create that from scratch. So I'm going to go to File, New, Trading App Window, Chart, similar and different versions of TradeStation. And we're doing in 9.1 right now, but it's similar regardless of what version you're in. So at ES is what we're taking a look at generically. We're using the constant contract, continuous contract symbol. So we're going to go back to 1/31/2016 and I'll let that load. So once that's loaded, I'm going to go to Insert Strategy and your window will open. I'm going to insert Capstone ES Night V2. Select OK. And that is the default inputs. We have this new input: don't trade if holiday, true. Stop loss, true. 1500 stop loss, $700 profit target. And I also wanted to say that in the past year, a $700 stop loss has worked well. The market hasn't pulled back that much on trades that work. It has hit the stop loss on trades that don't work, but on trades that work, it hasn't pulled back much. And so a $700 stop loss in the past year worked. So these are the default inputs, and I'm going to say OK. So this is loaded and the results are not as good as we'd like them to be or what we had seen, but there's a reason for that. We did not put this on exchange. So make sure that you are set up on the exchange. When you format the symbol, I put it on local. It needs to be on exchange for it to work. So if you have these results, if you have NightTrader, make sure you are set up on exchange for your data. So much better results. We get these results right here. Really strong strategy. 66, 9, 12, 50, $6,100 drawdown. Really good results for almost 4 years now. So NightTrader is a strategy to have in your arsenal, and we have that in the portfolio. And I'm showing you how to do the money management algorithm today in this video. So once you have that, I'm going to expand this window to here, and I'm going to insert the indicator MM1 Save Rev 7.0. So I'm going to go down MM1 Save Rev 7.0. That'll save the data to be sent to the next window that we're going to create. So you see the indicator there now. The base strategy is all set up. So that you have the base strategy set up, you have the indicator set up so that another window can read it. So what we do next is go File, New, Trading App Window, Chart Analysis, and initially we're just going to do at ES because we're just researching it. You don't have to put the automation front month symbol at ES H20 right now. I'm just going to put this down here. I'm going to go Format Symbol. And it needs to be, and you need to make sure, one of the common mistakes people make, once again, you see local, by default it goes to local. It needs to be on exchange, or it needs to be on the same. These two need to be on the same. If one is on local and one is on the exchange, your results are going to get very distorted. You're going to be shifted by your difference from the exchange time from your local time. So you want to make sure you're on exchange on both or on local on both. And so at ES, 1 minute bar, let's go back the same amount to 1/31/2016 exchange time, and you see this is almost 4 years, and then we say OK. So now we have the second chart set up with the money management, with the chart that we want to place the money management algorithm in. So we insert strategy and we go to the money management algorithm. We have to match. We're using MM1 Save Rev 7.0, so we have to use the MM1 series. MM1 Equity Curve Algorithm Rev 7.0. Select OK. And you see here, this is at ES.D. This needs to be changed to at ES to match this symbol. So the symbol and interval that you see in this chart here, the symbol and interval inputs that you see here, the symbol and interval right here need to match this one. So it needs to be at ES and 1 and not .D. Unless this is .D, that shouldn't be .D. If you change this to the automation symbol, say at ES H20, and you want to automate the base strategy and the money management algorithm, you can do that. But this would need to also be at ES H20. So whatever this symbol is, whatever this interval is, needs to match exactly, in quotes for the symbol, not in quotes for the interval. So we're going to do that here at ES So that matches. Those both match the symbol where the base strategy is located. Now we use the limit entry. You can use one of these entry methods, but not all four. There's a limit entry and then the limit entry points. The market entry obviously doesn't have points. Stop entry has some points, and pinpoint entry 2 has some pinpoint entry 2 points. And so we are focused on just using one of these and one at a time. And right now we use the limit entry on this setup. So now that you have the entry technique set up, we're going to go with the rules. We're going to use rule 6, pinpoint entry, and then rule 9, average drawdown. And we are going to go down here, and then we're going to modify the inputs for these two rules. All the other rules are 0, so the inputs for those don't matter. So none of the inputs for these other rules matter. So it looks like a lot of inputs, but we're not using them. We're only using the rules that have a 1 next to them. So rule 6 and rule 9. And for rule 6, we are going to use $25. So just a small pullback. It doesn't really change the results that much on this, but we're going to use 25. And then for rule 9, 100 is we're going to use 10. So just 10 minutes back, 10 bars, 10 minutes back. Since we're using 1 minute bars, so number of bars back. And so that's the average drawdown rule 2. And under max daily entries, we're going to say true. We're going to say false on this. We can enter at any time. And if it's going to be looking at the original strategy, see if it's in. And then the end of day exit. No, NightTrader doesn't exit at the end of the day, so we don't either. You can turn it into a day trade strategy potentially with the money management algorithms if you can find a setup that works. And then we'll use the same stop loss, $1,500 stop loss. And profit target is the same as well. We'll go with 700, and we can keep sync exit with master on. So whenever the master strategy exits, this strategy exits regardless of whether it says profit target or stop loss in this strategy. So it could be enter at a different price. And so these are the default inputs. These entry times don't matter because it's set to false. Exit times don't matter because they're set to false. A lot of these rules are set to false, and so there's only 2 rules, and we're going to say OK, and then we're going to take a look at the results. OK, and then close it, and then we're going to look at the results here when it updates. So here we go. We have a slight improvement in this number here, which is what we like to frequently improve the average trade profit and the net profit as a percentage of drawdown. So 239.48 and 1101.47, 2 of the most important numbers. The main thing though here what this algorithm did is it improved this. It didn't improve this much, but it did reduce the drawdown. So this is a really good strategy already. And when you have a swing trade strategy like this, you can expect much bigger drawdowns. But the last 4 years, it's only had 6,100. A dollar drawdown. The average trade profit is 249. The net profit is a percentage of drawdown. And so really, it's about the same, 1101. But you reduced your drawdown by 1,000. So if that matters to you incrementally, you can do that. You have that option as well. And so some strategies are more difficult to improve than others because they are already so good. And you might think a $6,000 drawdown is big, but it's not. In a swing trade strategy for the E-mini S&P, it's a pretty low number. So holding strategies overnight and over the weekend, that's pretty low, 79.48%. So almost 8 out of 10 trades are profitable, and also in the money management algorithm. So there's further ways to probably improve this strategy, but that just wanted to show you the basic way to set this up. One thing that you also have to consider too is if you format this strategy and you were to set that rule 9 is on, set to 1. If you were to set the look back period to, it's by default we have it set to 10, but if we set it to greater than 50, you have to change the max bars back. So let's look at that. Properties for all, and this max number of bars study will reference this default 50, and you need to change that to your greatest L1 value. So if we're to change that to 100, we need to change this. I usually change to 101, and so you want to look back as far back as your farthest look back period in your strategy. So default on that L1 for the rule 9 is 100. So if you don't set this to 100, then you will get max bars back error. So that is how you set up the money management algorithms. That's how you would test it on NightTrader. You can test lots of different things, run the optimization tool if you want, test different time frames, and so nice equity curve, E-mini S&P NightTrader with the money management algorithm.